Yeah.
Weezy out of here.
The dash is digi, the schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like Boogie. Life is amazing, it is what it should be. Been here for 10, but I feel like a rookie. I tell her.
Hey y'all. Oh my God. Thank God it's Friday, first of all. TGIF, y'all. Today was an mentally exhausting day at work. It's so funny just because with what I do, I'm so used to it. As far as the work part and stuff like that or whatever, it's all the same. It's just, usually it's a different company and they got their own things and stuff like that. So, it's not that. It's the combination of all the mixed personalities and people and things like that you meet and stuff like that. So it's just, I promise you, it's like a soup of personalities and everybody's a different ingredient. So I wasn't prepared for something that happened. I was sitting with this young lady who I'm like listening to her calls and things like that. And I don't know these people because I'm pretty new there and they've been there for quite a while. So it was like kind of like my first time meeting them. So I'm not really in the conversation, but at the same time, they right there in front of me. So I can't not hear or whatever or notice what's going on. So it was really, really funny. And I just thought I'd do a story time about it. And I asked the gentleman his permission to go ahead and talk about this a little bit because it was just, to me, it was just whatever. So I'm going to tell y'all what happened. Okay. First of all, I'm listening to this girl's call. So me and her are like right at the same desk. And he's like at the cubicle like on the other side of her. And they apparently are really, really cool and know each other. So me and her were talking about, like the work related, like the phone call, the flow and things like that. So he just kind of stood up and he was like, I gotta tell you something about what happened the other night, or I gotta show you something that happened the other night. So he, wants to show her something on his phone. So she stopped what she was doing with me, y'all. Pause the phone or whatever. Gets up from my desk. She looks at something. He was like, he kind of did it on some like sneak, like he didn't want to really do it in front of me. He was like, but I can't do it in front of her. So mind you now, he knows I'm right there. And he knows he want to share something with his friend or acquaintance or whatever, but he's familiar with her. And he also felt comfortable enough to her to show her something that's going on in his personal life. But he doesn't know me yet, so he didn't want to really say it in front of me. Didn't know how, if I would take it, if I would get offended. Not corporate America, you know how it is with all these different things. Somebody can make a complaint and have you in all kinds of trouble, and shit shouldn't really be that serious. But anyway, but we black. So these three people that are in this scenario, they're all African American. Anyway, so the young man shows her whatever it is, and I didn't say nothing. I kind of step back. I'm minding my own business. I said, oh, it's like that though? I ain't no snitch, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I ain't no snitch, bitch. You ain't have to act like that or whatever about it. He was like, no. I ain't mean it like that. I don't know you, so I ain't really know if I could share. I was like, well, I ain't over here to be snitching. I'm over here to listen to this phone call. If it ain't something that happened on the phone, do you. Don't be no different just because I'm over here. He was like, all right then, so to let me know, like, okay, you said that. It's cool for next time, right? So she gets up and goes to the restroom about 10 minutes later. And I just couldn't help myself. I'm normally not even nosy because I always have so many things going on in my life and I hate when people pry. But I just had to because I just wanted to mess with them. It's just really just getting more acquainted with these people. So I said while she was gone, I stood up and put my little arm over the wall. I was like, so what was so juicy that you told your friend but you couldn't share in front of me? And he was like, you really want to know? I was like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, apparently it was, funny and juicy. Y'all, let me in on the secret. Let me in. So he was like, okay. He tells me that a few nights ago, he had to work or he was busy. Whatever it was he was doing, he was too busy to take advantage of this opportunity. But a chick that he messed with and her friend wanted him to get together with them on a threesome. And the funniest part about it was that he was like, I wanted to, I really did want to, but he was like, I couldn't get away. So I think he was at work, but he was like, I was too tied up, and he was like, I'm still thinking about it because man, I wanted to. So I just thought the way he stressed the fact that I missed out on an opportunity to get two at one was just so hilarious to me. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening. I'm just shaking my head. Now I'm the older woman listening to this, and he don't know. He don't know anything about me at all. So I'm listening to this, and I'm chuckling a little bit, and So after I let him get done with his whole spiel and everything, I said, so wait a minute, let me ask you something. You've been with these women before, right? He said, no, only one of them. I said, oh, okay, and who's the other one? He was like, oh, that's like her girlfriend. I said, oh, well, you know what happened, right? I said, you know that the one that you've been with running her mouth. And you know how we females sometimes talk about stuff like it just depends on how close you are with that other person. I said she's been running her mouth and told Home Skillet how the goods was, and Home Skillet like, well, shit, you know, can I be down? And since y'all ain't together like that or whatever, I guess they felt like, shoot, we can both get down at the same time. He's talking, I know, that's why I was so disappointed, because I know what the friend is like. So it was so hilarious. So then the conversation just, oh my God, it just snowballed, and we end up talking about infidelity and trust and all kinds of different stuff. And I was telling him that, yeah, it's very, I said, no wonder nobody ain't got no successful, like, you know, committed relationships no more. These people nowadays is just doing entirely too much. And I said, especially with the Instagram and Facebook, everybody half naked. I mean, it's too much in front of these men. What they supposed to do? And then the young ones like that, of course, they're not going to turn down. So I told him, I said, but that's what you're supposed to do. You young, you ain't tied to nobody. Do what you do, boo. I never judge. Matter of fact, I want to hear the next set of stories because I could just imagine. So the young lady that I'm sitting with and listening to, who was in the restroom while this is going on, comes back. And she comes back and takes her seat, and I went ahead and told her. He shared with me what y'all was, you know, talking about his ticket. She was like, oh, he told you? So then we all chuckled about that some more. And all of a sudden, this happened, and I didn't see this coming. He stood up again, because he had sat back down to get on the phone call with a customer. He stood back up again and gonna say, are you single? I said, oh. I said, boy, first, hold on. I said, boy, first of all, I'm old enough to be mama. And don't it just seems like to me you got enough problems. You can't keep the ones that you got straight. He told me, I know, I do. I got so much going on already. But like I said, I'm separated. He told me, so you single then. And it was too freaking hilarious. I came home and told my kids. My daughter always teases me or whatever. But that was the best thing that happened out of the whole 8-hour workday. That was the best thing that happened, and this was all within like about 10 to 15 minutes or whatever, because the rest of the day was just jam-packed, nonstop work-related junk or whatever, which, you know, can get pretty tedious. But I just thought that was too hilarious. I told him, I said, boy, I gotta go on this channel and talk about you, because I had not met anyone like him with his personality since I've been there. In the short time that I've been there. And so I think that me and him would be really cool. Oh, and I found out through the grapevine that based off the manager that they have, that's who I have too. So I actually will be working very closely with this young man and this same young woman that I was with today. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how we get along. I think it's going to be a bundle of laughs, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some more. Do what you do, boo. I never judge. Matter of fact, I want to hear the next set of stories because I could just imagine. So the young lady that I'm sitting with and listening to, who was in the restroom while this is going on, comes back. And she comes back and takes her seat, and I went ahead and told her. He shared with me what y'all was, you know, talking about his ticket. She was like, oh, he told you? So then we all chuckled about that some more. And all of a sudden,